What's happening? It's your boy Stacks, and we got another quickie for you.
That's what she said.
No, she ain't. Welcome to my YouTube channel. As usual, we do various topics from base building to tips and tricks to yada yada. Y'all know the deal today. We got a particularly different video for you that's totally original. Like it's never been done before, right?
Oh, really?
Okay, let's explore. If I was Pocket Pair, right? And I gotta do 5 things to make life a little bit easier in the game, right? What would I do? Okay, pause right here. For those TLDR folks who ain't got time to watch the video, listen, I get it. You're busy, important, VIP. It's all good. It's all love. The 5 features I'll go over are all listed in the chapters in the description below, like this video, for example. But if you want to dig deep and hear out my reasoning for each one, stick around. I'd love to hear the banter in the comments to see if these are good ideas. Or if I'm straight capping, you heard?
Stop the cap.
Alright, cool. Y'all know I'm working on that fade break base video, right? Yeah, this one. See, I'm working on it. It's gonna drop, y'all. Chill. This ain't detox.
Hey, that's too far.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, so while I'm still working on it, I'm throwing these videos up to keep the content flowing. You know what I'm saying? Plus, these ideas been in my head since Pocket Pair dropped that, 1.0 update video right here. So I had to get it out my brain. You feel me? All right, cool. So check it. Feature number 1. We're going to assign favorite foods to individual pals in the pal stats page. So hear me out. So if we had the ability in the pal stats page right here to have like a section like I show you here in this mockup that allows you to select their favorite foods to eat, this will be golden. Imagine being able to click where it says favorite food right here and then select your favorite food from a drop-down list of all the foods in the game. Then if the pal is put in your base and in your feed box, you have the particular food that it likes in a different slot besides the leftmost slot, it'll actually eat out of that slot instead of the most left slot. And more importantly, if this pal is in your party and you have more than one food slot, it'll actually pick the slot where the food is located that it likes over the one in the leftmost slot. And great thing is, if that food isn't actually available, it'll just default back to eating where it normally eats. Now hold up, let me cook. And while I cook, sub to the channel if you vibe with the content, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. Yeah, smackety smack that sub button for your boy, you know what I'm saying? Please? Alright, cool, thanks. Anyways, check it. So say for example you got some bird eaters like Prunelia and Gengar on your base, but you also got some Joey chestnuts like Astigons and Knocklips. You can set the favorite foods for the small pals to eat the salads with less nutrition, and the bigger pals can eat the Mindstrom. That'll keep each pal satisfied enough to not go hungry, but also not too full where they don't eat enough to keep the food buffs going. So that's a pretty good solution. Now, let me sizzle real quick, you know what I'm saying? Let's say you got some glass cannons in your party. Assign them defensive foods. You got some tanks in your party? Assign them offensive foods. And boom, you got a team of prodigies ready to wreak havoc. You feel me? See what I did there? Hey, where my hip hop heads at? So this unintentionally has a major benefit. It finally solves the issue of the utility of the numerous food slots without having to switch them around to decide what pals end up eating. So, Pocket Pair. This is a good idea, man. Y'all should 100% steal this one. Anyways, feature number 2, all right? We're gonna take the sort settings page and we're gonna introduce 3 new sorting options, all right? So this would apply to everywhere where sort settings are applicable, like the PAL box, the PAL lessons condenser, the PAL expedition station, etc. So the 3 things we're gonna sort is the name of the PAL to include custom names, the condensation or star level, and the firepower, all right? Let me explain. So first, sorting by name could be good for all types of uses, but for me specifically, it would go great for prepping for raid boss battles. So for example, I give custom names to my Bastigor raid army pals like you see on the screen here. So sorting this would allow me to order them alphanumerically, so it's easier to pull out of a pal box when it's time to actually do a raid fight. Sorting by the star level, on the other hand, can help when breeding to know which pals are closer to being fully condensed when at the pal essence condenser. This is good for like the beginning stages of raid army preparation when you're working on making your pals stronger. And then sorting by firepower would be ideal for the PAL expedition station. So after putting the required types of pals you need for each mission, you can actually then sort by firepower and then take all your strongest pals and throw them in there, so it's a lot easier to reach that max reward level. Make sense? Cool. So here's a mock-up what that menu would look like. So in the top section, I'll remove the alpha PAL and then add 2 more slots and then replace it with the 3 categories I explained above, highlighted in yellow. I will move the alpha PAL that I removed from the top, I'll put it in the bottom here with this icon instead. Because by the time the player knows what an alpha PAL is, they already know what that symbol means, so I think it looks cleaner here. I'm just saying, just a suggestion for y'all, you know what I'm saying? So, feature number 3, while we're still kind of dealing with base related things, please insert the ability to give your bases custom names. So these features so far I mentioned, you like them? If so, let me know in the comments, y'all. If you got some really good ones, drop them in the comments as well. I want to see how creative and unique we can get with those suggestions. And maybe Pocket Pair will listen to us, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, so for the base naming feature, I got this one from a friend of mine in real life. Yes, I touch grass. Basically, so how each fast travel point has a name, like shown here, we can add custom names to our bases that show up on the map so we can differentiate, for example, which one will be our breeding base, our production base, or etc. You really can name it whatever you want. But anyways, in this mock-up right here, for example, you can see that if you press this button to prompt a name change, you can call it whatever you want. And then check this. This is where it gets good. Pair it with this crucial addition to this feature. Allow a shortcut button at any fast travel equivalent spot when you open the map to fast travel to any base showing a list of these same named bases like I have here. So you don't have to search the map with all those icons for your base. Yeah, I know you can turn off many of those icons with filters, but let's be real. How many of us are actually willing to do that every time we want to go to our base? This idea solves that problem and gives you the flexibility of getting to your base however you want. You can still roam the cursor around the map if you feel like it, or you can use the special menu. Your pick. Palworld's all about choices anyways, right? That's what I thought. Hey, relax. Feature number 4. We're going to introduce 3 new functions to the PAL monitoring stand. So first, we're going to add numerical identification to each PAL station on the base. Then we're going to assign a medical PAL to heal sick PALs on the base. And then last but not least, we'll be able to manually mass feed every PAL on the base with food that you have in your inventory. Alright, so this is going to be a long-winded explanation, but it's kind of needed because these suggestions are all crucial to endgame content, so listen up. You might find that you actually really like these. So let me know in the comments what you think, alright? So first, adding numerical identifications to each PAL station on a base. This one will include things like sandbags, breeding stations, crushers, ovens, etc. Alright, so this one will be quick. All I want to do is basically when you put duplicate items on a base, like 2 breeding stations, for example, or 2 ovens, you're just going to put a 1 and a 2 in front of each one, just so that you can actually identify it. And then when you walk up to the item, it'll actually show which one it is. That way, when you're in the PAL monitoring station and assigning different PALs to the different stations, you're actually going to know which station they're going to, rather than having to randomly pick and hoping that they're going to the right one. Now, this is where it gets fun, all right? So for the second one, we're going to find a way to display a section where you'll be allowed to add a medical PAL to each base, all right? So what this medical PAL does is it will actually be responsible for healing any PALs that become sick while working on the base, using any medicine that's actually stocked on the base. So you know when your PALs get sick, like this? Yes. So that PAL, instead of you having to manually pull it out of the base and heal it yourself and then put it back, this PAL will actually have the ability to heal them on base without your intervention, okay? So, I understand this ability is actually kind of broken. So I got some ideas to basically balance this out, all right? So here's what we're gonna do. First, we're going to actually require that medicine PAL, or that medical PAL, has to have level 5 medicine production, okay? Then, the next thing you wanna do is create a new class of 3 equivalent medicines. So take the existing medicines and maybe make ones that only PALs can use and not humans, right? You take those and then you use those to actually heal the base PALs automatically, right? And then you just make those very hard to craft, right? You gotta have a lot of materials to craft each one individually so that you can't just make thousands unless you do a lot of preparation for it, right? So it kind of gives you the option where you can just use regular medicine manually, or if you want to actually automate the process, it's just gonna take a lot more work, kind of like grinding for something else. Whew, all right. That's a lot of jaw yapping. All right, here's the last function that I have. Allow the ability to simultaneously feed all the pals on the base with the same food you choose from wherever in your inventory. This will be clutch for raids. Please tell me if there's a faster way to do this, but even if there is, I promise this is probably better, okay? So check it. What you're gonna do is normally when you have a raid base and you're getting ready to prepare for a raid battle, I would have to feed like all my pals Memorized curry, for example, 5 at a time, right? And then put them on the base. And I understand that, standard gameplay allows for like 15 max pals on the base. However, they do give you a slider to have up to 50 pals. So if you, like me, like to use 50 pals to attempt to crash my dedicated server while doing a raid, use 50 pals to make raid fights easier, feeding 50 pals 5x5 with enough time to start the raid before the buffs start wearing off, it's kind of stressful. So how about we put all those pals on the base initially, right? Then go into the monitoring stand and say, hey, feed every pal with this one food I have in my inventory. Click yes. It'll feed all 50 pals that food at the same time. And then boom, start the raid. This is a great time saver. Good idea? Yes. Great idea? Duh. Feature number 5. It's finally time, Pocket Pair. We need a mini-map. Okay? Need I say more? Just give us a mini-map. I don't care if it rotates with us or if it's static. We just need to see our surroundings, especially for us directionally challenged individuals. So, those are my 5 suggestions that I think will elevate Palworld to the next level before the 1.0 release. If you agree, let me know in the comments. If you don't, let's argue. Whatever, it's cool. Nah, I'm just kidding, we ain't gotta argue. But you know what I'm saying? Just let us know, And if you like what you see, once again, sub to your boy, you know what I'm saying? Help a brother out. Anyways, I do appreciate y'all sticking around this long to watch the video. I hope my ideas was actually good. Like I said, shout out what you would like done, and I will see you on the next video. All right, peace.